Hey guys, today we're going to be ranking every single Adam Sandler movie from piece of shit to the best of Adam Sandler, which is funny. I think that's hilarious. You guys seem to like the last tier list, and Adam Sandler is my favorite calm comedic actor. So we're going to rank all of these movies. I think there's more. I don't know why it doesn't show me all of his movies. But it's okay. It's majority of them, at least. I know there's more than this. I'm not stupid. I've seen more movies with Adam Sandler. But the first one we're gonna rank is Bedtime Stories. I thought it was okay. The premise was kind of weird. Like, he has to tell stories to his niece and nephew, and then it comes true in the day, like after he tells them. I think that's I mean, it's a Disney movie. It's so what can you expect from Disney nowadays, or back then I should say, because that was kind of like back before 2010. I can't remember, but it was a while back. It was okay. It wasn't a bad movie. I would say probably B. I was a B list. I wouldn't say bad. I wouldn't say piece of shit. I would say actually, I wouldn't say bad. It was okay. I've seen better. Week of, I haven't seen it yet. I know it's on Netflix. This is. So I was like wondering if it was some of the new ones. I guess it is some of the new ones. They don't have. So some of these movies I haven't seen. So bear with me. So week of, I did see the trailer for it, and I didn't really care for the trailer, so I would say it's bad. I wouldn't say it's a piece of shit, but it's bad. I didn't really care for watching it, so, I mean, changed my mind, guys. I mean, this movie right here, just go with it. I've seen multiple times. I love him and Jennifer Aniston together. They're always a really good combo, I should say. Whenever they do a movie together. I know they only made like 2 movies now, I think, but I think they should do more. But he's not as good with Drew Barrymore. I think Drew Barrymore is better with him, I should say. So just go with it. I would say, why would it be? It's not bad. That's kind of stupid. I would say good Adam Sandler movies and then the best Adam Sandler movies. So I would say this one. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's really good. You guys should check it out. He goes on a retreat, and she ends up going too because. So what happened was in the beginning of the movie, he has to lie to this girl because he likes this girl a lot, and he's supposedly married, and he's not really married, and him and Jennifer Aniston end up going to this retreat together with the girl, and all kinds of shit happens. It's a really good movie. People always say that Adam Sandler always goes on these kinds of things because he's rich, and it's like, you go on like vacations. Well, that's what people always say. He's going on vacations in these movies. He might be. He deserves it. He's a good actor. But you gotta check this one out. It's actually really good. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. I know that people probably don't like this movie nowadays. Back then, it still wasn't that, correct to do this kind of thing. You see, Adam Sandler is just Kevin James' friend. No, it's not. It's not Now to Pronounce You. No, this is something else. That's Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. What is this one? That's My Boy? That's My Boy is hilarious. If it's That's My Boy. Yes, That's My Boy. That's My Boy is a really funny movie. He plays his father of, what's his name? It starts with an A. I know it starts with an A. I can't remember his name though. But he needs money, so he does. He finds out that the son's rich, because not really his son's rich, more like his son's marrying into a rich family. So he tries to get the money, but he tries to be his father again because he ended up having a kid when he was really young with the teacher, and and it's kind of messed up in the beginning of this. His son, so he was rich too when he was younger, but he spent all of it on stupid crap, and he's trying to make it up to his son, even though he's really lying to him. But at the end, they end up making up anyway, obviously, and he ends up being, I don't know, you gotta watch it. It's actually, Vanilla Ice is in it. It's a really good movie. I would say it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's great. I wouldn't say it's his best movie, but it's a good movie. It's like, it's in the same tier as Just Go With It. Little Nicky, I seen this one when I was young. I think it came out in 1999, 2000 era, around there. He has like one of his stupid accents, which he goes, I can't remember, the way he talks, like he has his mouth off to the side and stuff. It's a good movie. He plays a demon, and he's in hell in the beginning of the movie, and then he's trying to, but he goes to like Earth, a planet, Earth, and ends up falling in love with this girl, and his both his brothers are coming after him, and his brother becomes like basically king of all, not king, but I would say basically Satan, and he has to stop him. It's a pretty good movie. It's for around the time it was made. I would say probably. I wouldn't say it's I wouldn't say it's one of his best. I would say probably B tier. It was okay. I mean, I don't really care for his accent and love his movies that he does. If he had a regular accent, I would say probably not bad. But he got hit in the face with a shovel supposedly in the movie. Mr. Deeds. Now this is a remake, and I've never seen the original version of Mr. Deeds, but I think it's one of his best. So I say one of his best. So in the movie, he's a small town guy living in like a holy world. He's a small town guy, and he raised greeting cards, and his great uncle ends up dying, and he gains all his money, which is $40 billion, I think it was. It was a lot of money, and he ends up like going to New York and falling in love with this girl. You'll see a pattern, because a lot of these movies, he falls in love with a girl. That's why Adam Sandler is his movies. But he's rich, so he'll like rent out shit and do things, but he's really kind. He's a really kind guy. He ends up giving the money away to this charity at the end. But it's a really good movie. You guys should check it out. It's, like I said, it's one of his best. It's from the early 2000s. I think he was like at the top of his game around 1999 to 2000, early 2000s. Back then. But don't mess with the Zohan. Now, this movie, I would say probably B tier. Because it's a really good movie, don't get me wrong, and it's not bad, it's not a piece of shit. You notice that I haven't done any piece of shits yet? Well, at the beginning of the movie, he's basically from, what the hell is it called? He's a Jewish, like, he's basically God, or Jesus. He has, like, powers, like, he can't die, really. He can take weapons apart. So he ends up not wanting to be a part of that anymore. He ends up wanting to leave. So he ends up faking his own death, because he tells his parents that he doesn't want to be that thing anymore. He wants to do hair. He wants to, hair. I don't have hair. But he ends up falling in love with a girl again, which is probably Islamic. I don't know. She's a part of something else that's not him. So he ends up like falling in love with her, even though he doesn't want to be a part of that. He wants to be part of his this other guy hair business. I don't know. It's like but he ends up falling in love with her, and the girl ends up being the guy that he always fights his sister. It's a bunch of shit. This one, I don't know. I don't know this one. Right now, I'm gonna put it in bad because I don't know it. I'm not saying that it's bad. I don't even know if that's an Adam Sandler movie. Is it? It might be. I can't really see the picture, and I can't really see what the name looks like. Now, this one's Hotel Transylvania. It looks like 1, I think. If it's 1, then it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's best, but it's not bad. I liked it. I like a lot of the premise. Is that there's a hotel, but only for like monsters, and I like how Adam Sandler does. Don't give me the pouty bat face thing. With Selena Gomez, he plays in it too. This is actually the best of the Hotel Transylvania series, and of course all of his friends are in it because majority of these movies, Adam Sandler has his friends with him, whether it be Kevin James or what was his name? I can't remember his name. There's all kinds of different people that he always plays with. It's not like one person. It's always the same group, if you know what I mean. Like for instance with this one, week of. I can't remember his name right now. I can't remember a few people. I know Kevin James, but I just can't remember some of the people's names. But yeah, it's a really good premise. You guys should check it out. As for the second one, I'd probably put it in B tier. I mean, it's basically the same thing, except she ends up having a baby because of the guy ends up coming. The guy that she likes ends up coming to Hotel Transylvania, but he's not. He's a regular person, and she's the girl that plays Selena Gomez, the one she plays. She ends up, but she's like over like 100 years old. But she ends up falling in love with. She ends up having a kid with him in the first. You don't know that, but that's the kid right there, and it's okay movie. I mean, I wouldn't call it like a hit. The first one was a really good movie, I think, and they should have kept it that way. Ridiculous 6, probably piece of shit tier, because I heard some bad shit about it. I've seen the beginning of it, and I didn't really care for it. I actually didn't watch the full thing. So yeah, I would say it's a piece of shit. Sandy Wexler, bad. It's like he's basically like a, sorry for the drills, by the way, downstairs. He's basically like a talent agent, and he's trying to trying to make people rich, or like, it's hard to explain. I mean, it's not really that good of a movie, and I've only seen it once. So, I mean, you can't really blame me for not knowing that much about it. Well, I know much about it. I just don't want to explain it because I think it's a piece of shit movie. Or a bad movie, I should say. 8 Crazy Nights, I would have to say that's probably the best of Adam Sandler. I love that fucking movie. That movie, I had to rent it at least 7 times. No, I had to, because you know how Hanukkah, Adam Sandler's Jewish. So Hanukkah is his instead of Christmas, it's Hanukkah. So I had to like watch it 7 nights in a row. I rented it for 7 days to watch it, and I love that freaking movie. I could not stop watching it. It's a cartoon, but it's a grown-up cartoon movie, and he does a really good job. You guys should check it out. You guys should check out the majority of his movies because I think he's one of the best comedy actors ever. I don't really care for his. So some people like his roles being serious, and actually I like the way he is. I think Adam Sandler is one of the best. Longest Yard, I'd put in one of the best of Adam Sandler. He's in the beginning of the movie, he's married to this woman. Well, it's a remake, by the way. I had never seen the original version, but I know one of the people that play in it. I just can't remember his name, but he died a while back. But he plays this guy that was an old football player and ends up getting into a car accident with his wife's vehicle, and because he doesn't like his life, so he ends up going to prison and ends up getting beat up pretty badly in the beginning, and Stone Cold ends up guest starring in it. A lot of wrestlers do back then. Stone Cold, sorry about that, by the way, if you can hear that. Stone Cold, it's a great Khali, Goldberg, a lot of old wrestlers playing it. But it's mainly about him, and Nelly's in it, and Chris Rock. That's what it was. That's Chris Rock. Burton, I can't remember his fucking name. I know he's the one that passed away not too long ago, a year or two ago. But he ends up playing football at the prison, and does a really good job. And I think he earns enough to like leave or something. I don't know. I can't remember what happens at the end because I haven't seen it in a while. But it's a really good movie. Again, this is best of Adam Sandler. All these ones right here, I have to say, this group 3 right here, would say watch. These ones, if you really want a comedy and you really think it's, you really want to see something stupid with Adam Sandler, these ones were. But these ones, I would have to say C. Even though this one's pretty fucked up. Click. Another one that's the best of Adam Sandler. Hey! Another one that's the best of Adam Sandler. Click is a guy who getting tired of his life, and same exact thing. He's not getting promotions, but I would say his girlfriend the wife in the movie is my favorite. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, all right. Adam Sandler has like one of the most best. He knows what to do with wives in his movies. I tell you that because Kate Beckinsale in this movie, and she plays in Underworld, by the way, she is fucking hot in anything she does. I think. I mean, seriously, this woman is hot. But anyway, the movie is about him, and it's not liking his life, but then he goes into like this Bed Bath and Beyond area, and he goes and lays down on one of the beds, and he wakes up and he finds M Beyond or something like that. So he ends up going into the Beyond section. I think it's Beyond or Way Beyond or something. I don't know. So he meets this guy, and I think it's the Reaper, and he ends up finding this remote, and ends up using it, and David Hasselhoff plays in it. He plays his boss, and ends up like turning it off. And he finds out early in the movie how to use it and stuff like that, but he fucks up with it, and it keeps fast forwarding through his life, and he ends up dying at the end, but he ends up getting a second chance. It's a really good movie. Like, I can't stop saying it. Like I said, all these movies right here, best. Anger Management, again, best. I'm sorry. Anger Management is hilarious. Jack Nicholson plays in it. I think I don't say one of his last movies, but it was getting close to it. Adam Sandler plays this guy who doesn't like to do things in front of people because back when he was young, he kissed some girl and the guy pantsed him. Or no, didn't kiss some girl. He did something. He was basically flirting, but he was a little kid. It's weird. And he ends up getting pantsed. And later on in life, he doesn't want to get kissed or anything like that from public because something might happen or something like that. And so he ends up going to anger management because he was in a plane and he was trying to be really nice to this guy, but the guy was taking it too far. And then the flight attendant was taking it too far, even though the flight attendant was on it because it was a big prank. I think I don't know. Kind of to me, it kind of felt like an ambiguous ending, even though I'm thinking that she really did fall in love with this other guy, which is Jack Nicholson, which is weird. But she ended up being with him instead because he ended up breaking out of his shell towards the end. And it's a good movie. Of course. Sorry for saying that. And this is I now pronounce you Chuck Larry. Okay. So this movie, I would have to put in. It's not bad tier. And I apologize to people who think that that's not correct to do that. But I think in that it does raise an eye to people that are in the LGBTQ movement, because even though that he's cheating the system and trying to, not Adam Sandler but Kevin James, because he finds out that he doesn't have insurance for his kids, or no, it wasn't insurance. Well, if he dies, then he won't be able to have what his kids can have. I can't remember the name. Life insurance. So he ends up getting involved with Adam Sandler, even though Adam Sandler is straight as heck in this movie. He's like, I can be gay, I can be lesbian for you, but I can't be gay. He's like, well, you can help me with my friend as a friend, and he ends up being his friend. And this guy comes around and trying to make sure that they're okay, and they actually really are. You know what I mean. I'm not gonna say it on the channel, and it's actually, it's. I wouldn't call it B because I do like it has watchable content. I mean, these ones do too, but if you're a little bit nuts, which I am, so that's why I like those movies. But this one, I'm not gonna say it again, but it's a decent movie. You guys should check it out. As for this one, 50 First Dates. 50 First Dates is, I would say, probably best of Adam Sandler. This is like my favorite movie with him and Drew Barrymore. I have seen other movies with them, blended in Wedding Singer, but I think this is the best. See what happens is that he falls in love with this girl. He's a player in the beginning of the movie. He sleeps with different women, doesn't call them back, he ends up like falling in love with this girl though, which is Drew Barrymore's character, and she ends up, but he doesn't know this, but she loses her memory every single night, and what else? So they end up sleeping together, and one part, and she ends up flipping out at him, throwing shit at him. The father plays a lot of his movies too. Played in Waterboy and played other movies with him. But and they end up having, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it's like I said before, good movie. I'm sorry for keep on repeating myself. So basically, this is it's easy for me to explain things while doing a tier list than it is for me to actually just say, put a picture of a movie and explain about it, if that makes sense. Reign Over Me, I would say probably in the not bad. I only seen it once, but it has a story about the Twin Towers. That's why I put it in its not bad category, and not the best, and it's not the B. I mean, it's a watchable movie if you want a drama. That's he lost his family in the Twin Towers, and basically for all those years, this movie came out, I can't remember, a while back. So I mean, it's not a new movie, but he ends up being friends with this guy, but the guy keeps on getting irritated with him, but he has, it's a very touchy movie. If you guys want to see a drama and something sad, then check it out. Airheads. It's one of his first movies. I'm not saying that it is his first movie. It's one of his first movies. He's not even the lead character in that movie, but I would say probably in that not bad category. I think he was one. I think it was one of his best movies when he was younger. Even though he's only in like one little area, but basically this guy, which is what the hell's his name? He plays the mummy. He plays in the Mummy. I can't remember his name. Sorry for people that I just can't remember right now. I can't remember people's names right now. So he ends up like wanting to make money off his music. So he ends up going to a couple different, or one of the biggest biggest areas ever to try to get his music published, and they turn him down. So he goes to the record place itself, and basically takes it over, and ends up playing his music anyway, almost there. He doesn't play his music until like later on, but I think live, and like I said, it's not bad. If you guys like that kind of thing, it's like from the early 90s or middle 90s, I can't remember, but it was kind of an older movie with Adam Sandler. He's in one little area. He has shaved head. He's a part of the band Murder Mystery. I thought it was... Other people might think it's good, but I think it's bad. I was watching it. I felt like I was going to pass out. That's what I felt like. Jennifer Aniston and him, yes, are in it, but I don't like him with a mustache. I don't think he looks good with a mustache. And I didn't think it was that good. It was kind of like, it was like a plain movie. And yes, they are good together, Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. But in this one, it seemed like they didn't really care. Jack and Jill, I would say probably in the piece of shit category. Not because, I mean, most people don't like this movie. And at first, I did like it. But then when people started saying, well, this part and this shit, and I love Al Pacino, and I think Al Pacino is my favorite actor of all time. And Al Pacino, I think, was the best in the movie. Adam Sandler and his sister are twins, which really aren't twins in real life, because it's just Adam Sandler playing himself. And throughout the whole entire movie, he's just pissed off at his sister the whole entire time. But he's also trying to get his sister with Al Pacino, because Al Pacino is going to back up his commercial on Cappuccino, Al Pacino. And it's a shit movie. I mean, the best part, like I said before, is Al Pacino, because every single role that he's in, he's like the best fucking... He's a really good actor. Spanglish, let's say B. He is a father, and it's a drama, and he ends up falling in love with this other girl, but then his wife ends up sleeping with another guy, and it's... I mean, I only seen it one time in the past, and it's not my type of movie, but I would say it's a B tier. If you guys want to check out something that's more serious Adam Sandler movie, that's one of them. Waterboy, best of Adam Sandler. I mean, who doesn't love the Waterboy? I do. I love the Waterboy, even though he has a shit accent, like usual. But not usual, but a lot of his movies he has a shit accent, which I think he should stop with that, because he's not good at that. But I think Waterboy is like my favorite. Not my favorite, but from the 90s era. Oh, no, I wouldn't say that either, because I liked a lot of his movies coming out. They're from the 90s. But he plays a kid, not really a kid, but he's grown up adult, but he acts like a kid, and he's still like not, fully developed in the freaking head. And he's like, and because his mom is like telling him different things, because he's always been homeschooled, and he is falling in love with this woman, and it's actually not famous actress, but she's a pretty good actress. I can't even spell her name, because that's how weird her name is in real life. But he ends up becoming a water boy for this football team, but then he ends up becoming part of the football team because he can really hit people hard. And it's a comedy. It's a really good movie. Funny people. He ends up thinking that he's dying in the movie. So it's basically based on his life in a way. I wouldn't say fully based on his life, but in a way. And I would say probably B tier. Seth Rogen plays in it. He plays his friend. There are some guest people like Eminem and what's his name, Ray Romano, and but I can't remember a lot of it. I know that he thinks he's gonna die, so it's kind of like a comedy / dramatic kind of like thing. Big Daddy, again, I had to say best of Adam Sandler. Big Daddy. What can I say about Big Daddy? He ends up breaking up with his girlfriend. Well, his girlfriend ends up breaking up with him, but he loves her a lot. So, like this little kid ends up coming to his store, or not store, his house. You could say it's a store because it's freaking big. I want that place. And come to his house and he ends up adopting him in a way, even though it's not really him that's adopting him. He was pretending like he's his father, because the kid, his mom ends up dying, and his father is gone. But Adam Sandler does call him up in the beginning of the movie, and asking questions and stuff like that, and telling him that this is his son. But he ends up falling in love with the son later on. Not falling in love that way, but like wanting to be his father. And it's a funny but a dramatic role in a way. You can think about it like that. He ends up getting in trouble. He ends up going to court. But yeah, good movie. This one I've never seen, but two good actors playing it. 3. I don't know. Punch Drunk Love. Another serious role with him. Didn't really care for it. B tier. Bad tier, I mean. People would say probably B tier, but yeah. What's this one again? Billy Madison. I should know that. Best of Adam Sandler. I think that Billy Madison is one of my favorite of Adam Sandler's movies, including Happy Gilmore. Because he ends up going back to school because he's trying to take over his dad's company because this other guy's coming in. This other guy's not very nice at all, and he's going to lay off a lot of people. He's a very bad person. So he ends up going back to school and falling in love with one of his teachers and falling in love again, but he's younger in this movie, so it kind of makes sense. And yeah, it ends up going through like every single grade every like week or month. I can't remember which one. So I mean, you guys gotta check out these movies. If not these ones, these ones. Happy Gilmore. I had to say this. Happy Gilmore he's a golfer, but not really a golfer. He wants to do hockey. That's the thing. He wants to do hockey. He tries out for hockey in the beginning of the movie. Ends up not making it because even though he's got the slap shot from hell because he's a really good slap shot, they won't let him in because he can't ice skate. So he ends up becoming a golfer instead, in a way. I mean, he's just practicing. And then and this guy named Chubbs ends up showing him how to golf and stuff like that. And ends up becoming a good golfer and ends up making money because his grandmother is in the hospital. Not really hospital, like old folks home. And he's trying to get her out and trying to get her back in her house, but he has to earn money to do it. It's a funny movie. Wedding Singer. What did I put? Just go with it. What? Wedding Singer. I have to say it's not bad. Drew Barrymore and him are together in this movie. Again, this is my second favorite movie with them. What did I put? Just go. What is it? Oh yeah, 51st. This is my second favorite movie with them. It's supposed to be back in the 80s. It's supposed to be pictured back in the 80s. That's what this movie is based on. Even though it's a 90s movie, I think he really likes the 80s. I think because he grew up around that era, so a lot of his movies has like a lot of different music from the 80s and 90s. But he ends up the woman that he falls in love with in the beginning of the movie stands him up, and at the wedding, this is the second movie, even though it's the first one that had that premise. It's the second movie that we have on this list that he gets stand up on. No, actually, the other one he didn't get stand up on, but whatever. But he ends up falling in love with Drew Barrymore. She's a waitress, and he's just a wedding singer, and it's a good movie. What's this one? Is this Hotel Transylvania 3? And if it is, then it's a bad movie. I don't really care for it. I think they're on the ship in this one. They keep on declining throughout the years, and I wouldn't even say it's B tier. I would say it's probably bad tier. And they're coming with a fourth one. I don't know. This one is Adam Sandler's first movie, I think. I'd say probably is. I would say bad. He's trying in this movie. He's like a stand-up comic, but he's on the ship, and it's so low budgeted. It's not even funny. But I gotta give it to them. I mean, it is an old movie though, but I can't really explain much about it because I want to see it once in my life. Hoobie's Halloween, I would say probably in the B tier. It wasn't bad at all. I thought it was a decent movie. Again, he's doing another freaking accent. Yes, that's not good, and I don't like the accents in his movies. But yeah, it was an okay movie. I seen it one time. I've seen it one time. Again, he has his friends in it, and people don't really care about him in the movie. People always put him down. I don't really care for those types of movies where people put other people down just because they can. But it's a decent movie. The premise is decent, at least. Check that out. It's on Netflix. Grown Ups 2. It wasn't as good as the first one, so I'd probably put it in the B tier. This one, he's at the house. Stone Cold's in it. He's at the house, and he plans a big party at the house, and all his friends come over. That's basically the plot. And funny things happen in between the movie. That's the plot of the movie. Sorry for saying all the time, but this one, Pixels. I would say in the bad tier. I guess what happened was a long time ago, back in the 80s, they were playing Pac-Man and all, you know what I mean, all the old games. Well, I guess something that I guess it finally hits these alien people that, these are the people that they're basically waging war on us. So they end up turning into these big Pac-Man and all the old characters from the old what's it called again? Those machines. I can't remember the name because I'm not really into that kind of thing. But yeah, and I don't know. It's just a weird premise. I think it's cool in a way. The premise. I mean, if you really think about it, but it wasn't right. It wasn't a good movie. And Adam Sandler blended, I would say probably, I wouldn't say bad. I would say it's in the B tier. See what I mean? They keep dropping with Drew Barrymore. It's another movie where he ends up traveling to Africa, and I think it's another one where he's on vacation, but in the movie. Again, he has to fall in love with Drew Barrymore for the third time in a row. Jeez, if they keep making those movies, it'd be like 50 First Dates. But that's a decent movie. This one, Bulletproof, I would say probably it's not bad. Him and Marlon Wayans, yes, are basically friends in the beginning, but Marlon Wayans is a cop, but he didn't tell Adam Sandler's character. So he was just trying to do like he's just trying to start from the bottom and work his way up. You know, like what are they called again? Undercover person. So he's trying to start from the bottom and work his way up. But he's friends with Adam Sandler, and Adam Sandler ends up shooting him in the head. It wasn't on purpose. It was an accident, but he didn't die. So he ends up like. Marlon Wayans' character ends up... Not Marlon Wayans. Damn it, Damon Wayans. Ends up, like... doing better. He ends up, like... getting better from whatever he needs to do to get himself better. And he ends up going to see Adam Sandler about the guy, but... like, putting him in handcuffs and bringing him back, I guess, or something like that. And it's a funny movie. I think both of them together are a really good duo. That's too bad they only made one movie together. The Cobbler, bad. I want to say it's a piece of shit, but it's bad. He ends up making these shoes. The Cobbler, and he's making these shoes about he can be anybody he wants. Because he has this gift. So every single time he puts on his shoes, he ends up becoming that person. So yeah, I mean, you really don't get to see that much of Adam Sandler. It's more of like different actors, or it wasn't that good. And the first Grown Ups movie, I would have to say probably in the not bad category. It's better than the second one, that's for sure. Alright, the first one, what were they doing? They were at a camp, and a lot of shit happens, but it's not drama, it's comedy. And there wasn't really a plot like there wasn't in the second one. It's basically like a funny thing. It's like, why not kind of like thing, like one of those movies. But yeah, that's basically that's my ranking of the tier list. The best of Adam Sandler would have to be Mr. Deeds, Eight Crazy Nights, Longest Yard, Click, Anger Management, 50 First Dates, Waterboy, Big Daddy, Billy Madison, and Happy Gilmore. And that's not bad, which would be Just Go With It. Damn it. I don't know. So, if you guys want like my tier list, please leave a like down below. If you guys want to see more, give me a suggestion, whoever you want to see next. This has been Resident Links. This is probably going to be a long video, so bear with me. I'll see you guys next time with more tier list or whatever you guys want to watch next. See you guys next time, and be safe. Bye.